get started. So welcome everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying their BlogCon festivities. My name is Mike Thome. I'm Chief Marketing Officer for Cocoon.com, which is a social media management platform specializing in proper social media management and growth for brands. I'm accompanied by our VP, Jeff Katra, and our CEO and co-founder, Andrew Torbo.
How's it going?
So what I want to do today is kind of go into social media from a business standpoint, and then for your entrepreneurs, how to leverage social media for your blog or any small business you're trying to start up. And what I wanted to do was start with some facts on social media. So currently, there are 845 million active users on Facebook, and of that, there's 955 total million users on Facebook. 64% of these Facebook users have liked a brand on Facebook. So most of you know, you're on social media a lot. Facebook, you like a brand. And what that does is allows the brand, any content being posted is now populating in your newsfeed, whether it be text links, pictures, anything like that. That content that that brand is pushing out now populates in your newsfeed. 25% of social media users as a whole are more likely to look into a brand advertising on social media. So a brand leveraging a strong social presence, like I said, continuously building and engaging a community has a higher percentage of people looking into that brand. And 15% of these users are more likely to purchase from advertisers leveraging social media, which is a huge, I mean, that's a huge number. You talk about social ROI, and that's the big conversation around it now. You know, how do you monetize social media? Like, what does this mean? There's living proof right there. 15% of users are more likely to look into a brand and make a purchase because that brand is using social media. Okay, so huge market, a lot of people on it. You know, we all use it every day, but how much money is actually being spent? So how much money is being allocated into social media management, marketing campaigns, and tying in traditional media with social media. As of last year in 2011, according to eMarketer, there was $4.26 billion spent on social media as a whole. And I mean, along with the election in 2008, Ford actually launched a very successful campaign in 2011, which with their Ford Explorer. And what they recognized is a 200% increase in I guess you could say fan retention and interaction than any Super Bowl ad that they ever ran, which, as you know, Super Bowl is the most marketed and viewed commercial television event. Gotta go forward. There we go. So show me the money. So what does that mean? As I was saying, you know, how do I get new customers from Facebook? How do I track purchases? How do I essentially know if I'm spending this marketing dollar, you know, out of that $4.26 billion, where is the revenue, where is the ROI? So these are some big pain points for business owners right now, especially trying to transition into the social realm. You know, biggest being ROI, second being managing and growing the presence. So on a local level, let's take hypothetically Joe's Pizza Shop. So Joe is running a small business, he's making pizzas in the back. He might have time to post content out on his Facebook page to get engagement, get new people, get essentially new eyes in front of his business, but at the same time he doesn't have time to sit there on social media, manage that conversation and guide the conversation in the light that he wants it to, and essentially permeate his voice across social media because he's in the back making pizzas. Like I said, monitoring the social engagement, and then lack of resources. Also a big thing, which a lot of companies are starting to do now and do very well, is integrating traditional media with social media. So you'll see a lot on billboards now. It says, you know, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, even into traditional print. So you look on cereal boxes, you see the Facebook and Twitter logos. And if you really start to look for it, you see more and more companies integrating that traditional marketing mindset with social media. And also pushing on all platforms. So that means essentially to delineate between like Twitter and Facebook. Twitter is more, you know, update constant, fast-paced social media platform, whereas Facebook is more of a landing page, and it's more, it's a lot slower growth and it's a lot more organic. And lastly, being budget. A lot of people don't have money to spend on Facebook, and they don't understand it, so they can't really conceptualize, you know, spending money, whether it's marketing or, you know, paying for management, to really, you know, throw marketing dollars at social media. So what does this mean for business? So out of, I believe this was polled in 2011, out of businesses today, or in 2011, 60% of business to consumer companies and 41% of business to business companies have acquired a customer from Facebook. So, I mean, like I said, just leveraging that strong community, building that social presence, interacting with people has shown positive results from an ROI standpoint. So how do businesses leverage social media? What we found out is that 40% of companies admit to having no governance in social media, no true understanding on how, they're kind of just throwing content out there and hoping something sticks, essentially throwing a dart at the board and hoping something works for them. Out of 40%, we found that 38% of small and micro businesses would like to use social media if they had more time, as stated before with the example of Joe on the pizza shop, and if they had a convenient management solution. So, an easy way to scale, essentially managing and growing your presence online.
All right, so what's the value of social media to a business or to a blogger? Going off what Mike said, a lot of people have trouble justifying what am I going to do with this budget, why is it worth paying this much for social media, or should I increase my budget, or should I even have a budget at all for social media? And going back on what advertising really is, we've taken a shift from an outbound sense to an inbound sense. And with the inbound marketing, it's all about content. Content on your blog, what you're selling, your products, and how you educate people on those products. Rather than a quantitative, reaching out, reach frequency, see how many touches you can get, like billboards, traditional advertising methods. And that's where they come into a kind of a marriage with these. And social media has made advertising itself much more complex because not only do you have to have an awesome product, but you have to let people know how your product works, how it benefits them, how it can solve everyday life problems. And the biggest thing with even like blogs, it's huge, and business is huge. You need content that's entertaining. People need to be excited about your content. They need to be really excited about your content. It's just going to get lost in the whole realm of Google. It needs to be engaging and needs to be educational. Advertising is a two-way road. It's not just getting your product, your sales, your promotions out there. And here's one of our brand advocates, Roger McNow. This guy's been following us for, Andrew, what, 6 months now?
Probably about 6 months, yeah.
I think he's liked every single post we put up for the past 6 months on our site. He's a perfect example of a brand advocate, and you really need to focus on brand advocacy. And going back to customer value with brand advocates are more, I guess you'd say, not just a returning customer, but somebody who really represents your brand online. And old customer value is measured in how often, what they buy, and how long they're buyers. Say if you have a Verizon account for a year, 2 years, it's $100 a month. That's the straight up cut and dry value of what you are as a customer. And going on, word of mouth marketing. I think social media has made word of mouth much more dynamic and much more effective. Word of mouth is the most trusted form of marketing. If I recommend to you, oh, you should use this product because it's really worked for me and we're close friends, you're most likely going to purchase that product, correct? My recommendation? True?
Absolutely.
And social media has taken word of mouth and pretty much put it on steroids. Now that your message can get out to thousands upon thousands, even millions of people in a matter of minutes. I'm sure you guys are big NFL fans. Anybody big football fans out there? Saw the Green Bay tweets. I think the Packers player gained 90,000 followers on Twitter in a matter of 2 days. People really want to speak out about the NFL, and it comes back to kind of like crisis management, etc. And I call this the social media butterfly effect. One tweet or status can be amplified and can get a message out there, whether it's negative or positive, in a matter of minutes, hours, a day, it could be a week. It's looking to get out much faster than a message would in the old days. And I call it the cyclone of influence. And if something negative or positive goes out about your brand, you're going to have to react quickly and efficiently to either make it a PR nightmare or a PR success. And that's the biggest thing with social media. It's about speed. Just as fast as a message can reach somebody, your message can get lost in the social realm. So if your content's not engaging, the interaction's not there, if it's not entertaining, yeah, it's going to reach a million people, but not a million people aren't going to interact with it, and they're not going to even see it. Put a tweet out on Twitter. How many tweets? It depends on the amount of people that are following you or following back. It's just going to get lost.
So
turn it over to Andrew here.
So this is Bill. He's a small business owner. He started an ice cream stand 2 years ago. He's starting a new business in a rough economy right now. A lot of people are employed. Our debt is through the roof. And he's questioning his ability to start and run this business in such a rough time. On top of that, he looks around and he sees business owners around him, including big corporations, using Facebook. He hears it on the radio, he sees it in print, sees it in the magazines, sees it on his TV. It's everywhere. And Bill's really confused because he wants to get this business up and going, and he wants to be an innovative business owner. So he needs to get on Facebook and on Twitter. Bill has a couple of problems though. Number one, he doesn't have the money. He's a brand new business owner. He can't pay a consultant to come in and teach him how to use social media for his business. He can't pay for fancy software to help him run his social strategy across multiple platforms. And number two, he doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the time to learn. He doesn't have the time to educate himself or another one of his employees maybe on how to do this. So he's got some really big problems before he can tackle this social media issue. So that story is actually true, and this is Bill, and he owns Bitty Bills in Moosic, Pennsylvania. And he's a real business owner, and 2 years ago, he came to me with this issue of social media. He said, I know you know a lot about it. I know you're helping out a couple other businesses locally. Can you help me out? So I sat down with him, and we discussed an entire strategy on how he could market himself and market his business across social media. So because Bill is one of our clients, he's allowed us to pull some of the data from his account. Now, as you can see over here, over the past 28 days, we posted out a variety of content. We found out that Bill's community, each community is very unique. We found out that Bill's community really interacts with mainly pictures and text statuses. So we post out pictures, text statuses, and some links. As you can see down the bottom here, 70% of Bill's engagement is coming from photos. So, as was mentioned in some other presentations today, visuals are absolutely massive on social media. Instagram is the perfect example of that, and that's why it was bought out for $1 billion by Facebook. On the right here, you can see that Bill's most popular post over the past month was this picture of a kid licking some ice cream. So that's pretty interesting. You can see that he got 48 likes on that and 9 comments. And that post actually reached out thousands of people just because of the amount of interaction that it got. So social media allows your business, or even your blog, if you're running a blog and you have a page dedicated for your blog, you can get a direct insight into your demographics. And with traditional media, you really can't do this. I could say in real time right now that Bill's top 3 cities are Scranton, Moosic, and Taylor. I could say hey, females, about 70% of his audience is made up of females, and that can generally be explained because moms like taking their kids there for ice cream. It's just pretty plain and simple. We can get down into the age groups and break it down even further and say, the most popular age group would be, 18 to 24-year-olds, and then we got 35 to 44-year-olds and 25 to 34-year-olds. So the moms, dads, the younger crowd is going there and, getting some ice cream. So reach is extremely important, and again, with social media, everything is measurable. Data is the key. We can see here that over the past month, we have reached 66,000 people. So literally, every single person in Bill's target market has been reached through social media. And 25,000 of that has been organic. Essentially what organic means is that people are engaging, interacting, and if you see something like your friend likes X pop up in your ticker or pop up in your feed, that's an organic reach. We also run ads for his company, so some of that 66,000 is through ads and it's paid. But the paid reach is actually completely worth it because it's all about getting exposure and essentially creating a subliminal message in the minds of the Facebook users and getting them to come and visit your place. So engagement is really essential with social. It's not just about throwing things at the wall and hoping they stick. Because like Jeff said, it's a two-way, it's a window. It's not a mirror, which is what traditional advertising is. The company throwing something at us and we really have no way to respond besides going, calling customer service or sending an email, which generally probably won't even get answered. With social media, it's different. It's transparent. It's a two-way window where you can reach out to the business and the business can reach back out to you. And it's never been like this before, so it's essentially transforming all of advertising, all of marketing, and all of customer service, and just business and communication in general.